All right, welcome to the Sit and Politic podcast. We're here again. We're chilling. We're vibing. It's Sunday. We're coming to you on Tuesday, though. We're coming off the UFC fight last night. Coming off mowing lawns outside. Hot to the bitch outside. Just living our lives, watching football all day. I got Bills here with me. I got Coach K, K-Dub, man. You know, one of the originals. You feel what I'm saying? Like, plug yourself, brother. What's going on? What's going on with you, man?
Yeah. I've been lazy.
Too lazy. You don't even reply to the messages, bro.
To the group chat.
Muted. I don't know how to unmute it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we'll show you. We'll show you. And we did make a new one. That you must have muted the new one.
I ain't mute the new one.
Yeah, we ain't been in there heavy. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been living in a hotel for the last about a week and a half. I was in a hotel in Sarasota.
That's a good spot.
And then but that's dude.
No,
you got to get all the dogs, all the kids, everybody ready, and the cats. Go to Sarasota, hour, then come back, hour, and then but you got to bring the dogs back because you can't let them sit in the hotel room and just piss everywhere.
Where you go?
Are you still in the hotel?
No, we're in the RV now.
Okay, that's beautiful.
Yeah,
that's beautiful. How's that been?
Oh, the RV tight.
Wait, did you lose your crib from the hurricane?
I ain't lost it, but I mean it's still there.
Unlivable conditions.
There's a lot of damage.
That's what I mean.
A lot of damage. Yeah.
Jesus.
Inside.
Fuck.
Yeah.
And that matter of fact, that little storm that came through the other day, I got my walls. There's no drywall on the walls.
Yeah.
And then the brick, water, some kind of way you can see the brick is wet on the inside, and I don't know how that happened. So.
Damn.
And there's like no stream that comes down the shoulder.
Yeah.
So I don't know how they gonna fix that.
Damn it, man. Well, I mean, it's gonna be fixed though, right there in the process of figuring that out. You're on a list, I'm sure.
Hey, they ain't working fast.
Yo, I'm sure.
Might have to get a public adjuster.
Oh, what's that? Yeah, educate me.
Public adjuster. Oh man, they work for you, kind of like they don't make money unless they get more money for you.
My bad. It's kind of.
So basically, the insurance company obviously they work for themselves. So the public adjuster is going to go in and get you more money.
Okay.
But they get 10%.
So they're going to get you more money from the
insurance company.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's interesting.
I mean, some people do. They didn't even. Some people who have experienced this already, they didn't even call the insurance company. They went straight to the public adjuster. So the public adjuster has a team of lawyers behind them.
Interesting. So basically, they negotiate on your behalf.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like.
So they get 10%.
And they get 10%.
In most cases, from what I've heard, I've never experienced it, but in most cases, they're going to get you way more than the insurance is going to get you.
Yeah, hopefully more than the 10%, or else.
Oh, yeah, it's going to cover the 10% and a lot more.
Okay.
Supposedly, according to everybody I've talked to about it. So
that's cool. I mean, I could imagine a lot of times when you're going in and you're dealing with insurance, I'm sure a lot of y'all that are watching can relate to this. As long as you're not like accident ridden, a lot of times you deal with it once, twice, 3 times in your life as far as it pertains to specific things. That's the house, for sure. So it's like when you're going into that, you're at such a disadvantage when you're talking to these insurance adjusters or whoever, or people that are in charge of your claim, and they'll take advantage of it. There's no doubt. When I had recently, I had a car issue, and in every step of the process, I had to advocate like heavy for myself. I could not assume that this person had in any way my best interest at heart or anything. They didn't. They had the bottom line in mind, which I guess is their job. So that's where you have to just you can't hold it against them. You got to be on their ass.
More than them.
Yeah, you got to be on their ass. So one thing that happened is I drive an SUV. The SUV got damaged where it couldn't be driven. Luckily, I knew somebody that worked in insurance, so I spoke to them ahead of time to kind of prepare myself. But they came to the table and they're like, "Yeah, we got you a rental car. It's gonna be a Corolla. It's gonna be a Corolla."
When they supposed to replace it with
something like
what you had,
like or similar, whatever is the terminology for that. And then when I reached back out, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna accept this." I use that same terminology that they're familiar with. That always, the ears start to percolate. In that case, they're like, "Oh, okay, well, they either know something or," and we could all relate to this in our field. You know what I mean? When all of a sudden you're standing across from somebody that either does the same job that you're doing or has done it. It's a different experience. Yeah. So in that case, when you're already in the job where you're specifically trying to get over on people constantly, I think, that was, so yeah, I mean, I'm sorry you're having to deal with that though.
Also, assignment of benefits, never sign that.
What's that?
The assignment of benefits is basically it gives them the right over your money. So say for instance your roof get messed up. So the guy come in your house, oh yeah, you need a whole new roof, da 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 da. But he never gives you a price. Most of the time, oh well, I need to see your policy. That's a red flag right there because they can see the policy and see how much money you have in that policy and then charge you based off of that. But they control it all. So what the insurance company is supposed to do is send you a check for the roof, for instance. Yeah. And then you find somebody that can do it, but you might find somebody that can do it for $15,000 when this guy was going to do it for $20,000. Sure. And then you get to, you know what I'm saying, pocket the rest.
Yeah. And in that case,
that assignment of benefits, they're going to take all the money. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So whatever the insurance company give them, basically the check is going directly to them.
No, that makes sense. And that makes sense why, like, I mean, the last time when I did deal with the insurance company, they really wanted to talk to, like, for example, the mechanic directly.
No, the car, I don't know. I'm just talking about the house, though.
I'm just using that as my most recent example. That was also something I experienced as far as, like, where the insurance company wanted to, like, they encouraged, like, kind of disjointed communication between me and like the mechanic directly and stuff like that. They're like, oh yeah, no, we got it, we can handle that, blah blah blah, for those same kind of reasons. I'm sure they didn't want me to walk away with an extra $1 if they could avoid that. So what's you got a light at the end of the tunnel on that situation
for my house?
Another
thing, I've had 3 desk adjusters. So you got a field adjuster. He or she comes out, look at the house, determine what needs to be fixed, and then you get a desk adjuster that actually write the check and everything. But this is my 3rd one. The first one I never talked to. The second one, we got into it. Then the 3rd one, I mean, she been cool. Yeah. So they're sending us a check now that's not going to do anything because it's only supposed to fix the inside of the house. Yeah. But you can't start to fix the inside of the house till you fix the roof and the exterior of the house.
Sure, because it could just be damaged again, like what just happened.
Yeah. So, and then that money, it ain't going to be enough money.
Yeah. Interesting. So, I mean, what was it that you got into it with your second one about, if you don't mind?
Well, so we was going to Sarasota. Yeah. So we got 6 people in the house. Yeah. Plus the 3 dogs and the cats. Sure. So we was in a nice hotel, Arts of Ovation, down in Sarasota downtown.
Shit sound nice.
Yeah, super nice hotel. Yeah. But it was $200 a night for 2 rooms. So that's, let's say, $500 a night. Okay. But they only had 1 room because they were booked. Everywhere local was booked. So we only had 1 room. Mm-hmm. But we're squeezing 6 people into 1 room. But the insurance company is supposed to give you something comparable, just like the car. Yeah. But they didn't have the room. Mm-hmm. So anyway, we stayed there a couple of nights, but then we got to travel way back down here with the dogs, put the dogs in the doggy daycare. That's $90 a day. It just didn't make sense because we're spending so much money. So then we went to another hotel that was closer, but we had 2 rooms, but that was $345 a night. So 2 rooms is $690 plus putting the dogs in daycare. That's $700 some, not including they're supposed to reimburse us for gas.
So I was about to ask you, because you guys are traveling back down here because this is where your life is at, right?
Yeah, and my wife works literally 2 miles from the house. Yeah. I work 8.2 miles from the house. So that difference, they're supposed to reimburse us for travel. So I'm saying we have in our policy, it's called loss of use. If you look at your declaration page. Okay. I think that's what it's called. But anyway, it's a loss of use, and we had $36,000. Damn. Which sounds great.
Sounds amazing.
But if we're in a hotel for a month, that was $23,000 gone.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So I was trying to let me get the camper. That way I can be home. I can take my dogs out of my own yard. I don't have to travel and pay all this extra money. And the lady was giving me an additional month for free.
Nice.
So I'm like, let me get the camper. So within my investigation, my insurance doesn't allow you to get campers unless you ask. So then I asked, and then you got to go through another company to get the loss of use. It's called ALE. They have the money for that, but it's through our insurance. But anyway, so you have to go through them. So one day I got a call from them saying that we didn't have the hotel anymore. Yeah. So now I'm just getting home from the hotel. Mm-hmm. Now I'm about to get ready to go to work, but you just told me I don't have a hotel no more.
Damn.
So now I got to go back to Sarasota unload the room and do 2 rooms and do all this stuff. And I about lost. That's when I about lost my mind.
I hear you on that. What's the loss of use? Like, what exactly does that mean?
Well, when you don't have, I guess by the law, if your kitchen sink, if you can't use it, then you can't live in the house. It's not. It's not habitable.
Got you.
So the loss of use is 1, you're not in the house, so they'll pay for a hotel. 2, you the difference of your driving, wherever you're driving from, they'll pay for the gas. They'll pay for food. Let's say you budget, let's say $100 a week on food. Going to a restaurant, I spent that in 1 meal. You know what I'm saying?
No, definitely.
So all that just starts to add up. So all that's in that pocket. But when that pocket runs out, good luck. I mean, you on your own then.
So they won't. Basically, So with that plan, they're saying that's how much they cover of that, and then anything past that, it's on you. Is what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
So and then that in a month and a half, that $36,000 is going to be gone.
Nuts. Yeah.
You know. So
crazy.
I was like, well, let me get the camper, and then I'll have that for 4 months.
Well, how was that going to work for you if you got the camper, and then how much were they agreeing to pay into the camper?
Well, the lady set it up for like $205 a day.
Okay.
And
they were saving money in that case.
Yes, but she was giving me a whole month free. So that's why I got it for 4 months.
Gotcha. After that, you have to give it away or give it back?
That out, though.
Yeah. It's like, well, technically I get mail there, so they can't kick me out.
But what the insurance company... The way she set it up, they had to send her a nice chunk. I'm talking about like $20-something thousand.
Yeah. You're saying the trailer? I mean the RV person.
Yeah, my insurance company had to send her $20-something thousand.
Nice.
So that was the iffy part. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't want to just outright send her that. But once I got the approval from the desk adjuster, I done gave him an earful. Then finally. You know what I'm saying? That got approved.
That's great. Well, either way, I'm glad you got a situation, and cool. When can we expect to see you on the lives again?
Man,
that shit over? I mean, what's up?
You know the biggest thing is football season. Yeah. But boy, I be want to talk about so much basketball, so much it don't even make no sense.
It's basketball season though, too.
I know, but I feel like people gonna be like, "Why you ain't? It's football season. Why you still talking about LeBron?"
Well, be honest with me.
Or whoever.
Do you feel like you like basketball more than you like football?
Yes.
Overall, no. I don't like it more. I can analyze basketball better.
Interesting.
Than football.
Okay. So for me, it's funny because I feel like I had it probably like 5 years ago or so. There was a period where I was like, I feel like I never liked basketball more than football because football was one of my loves in my life. But there was a period where I felt like the gap was closing like pretty significantly between basketball and football. But recently, over the last like 2-3 years, I feel like football's been like, separating itself, at least for me personally, again. Now that might have something to do, especially recent history, with the team that I root for specifically being more competitive over the past 3 years. For a majority of my life, the team that I root for, the Miami Dolphins, was shitty. So, I mean, it was basically like, even though I love football, it was torture to sit there and watch them on Sundays, damn near. And then torture to even talk about them when you go to school or whatever the situation was, or you're going to work and you're seeing the people that you work with. They already know you're a Dolphins fan. They're like, damn, how about the Dolphins this weekend? Fuck, right? So yeah, I mean, nowadays, definitely I feel like appreciation for football. I mean, I love to talk about football too. I'd say it's the opposite for us. There's basketball. I had to think today. I was like, damn, what Kent's coming? Like, what do we want to talk about with basketball? I did think about you for that reason. Because I feel like we haven't been talking about it as much, even though the season just started. We'll pepper in a few topics, but I feel like last year when we were doing the podcast, we were heavy in basketball stuff.
Yeah, because I think I don't know when you actually started the pod. I know when mine started, we was deep in the football. I mean basketball season. I love football, but I think football, fantasy football has helped me a lot when it comes to get
Nice.
Get into football. But when I played,
you gotta have some money on the line to enjoy the shit.
When I played in high school, I mean, basketball was it. But I love football too. So
well, at that time, so did you prefer did you love basketball more? Or did you love football more?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, interesting.
But then, football, there's so many moving pieces. Like sometimes you can't just straight out dictate what should have happened or what was supposed to happen or something like that.
Definitely.
Basketball is easier to see what you think should have happened.
Well, and I think one player has a greater impact on the game than basketball. Yeah, for sure. So if you're watching a game it's easier to blame like LeBron than it is like today. I watched a game where the Buffalo Bills lost. I think Josh Allen threw 2 red zone interceptions. Even with that, it's still like you see a lot of ways that they're not even in the game if he doesn't do his part, throughout the game. So it's such a I agree with you. It's such a it's funny. Over here on the board, I talked about Cuz for a minute. We got to talk about LeBron. You were here. I wanted to ask you specifically that. Give me an update. How are you feeling I know you don't like to call yourself a LeBron hater, but whatever you are, not a fan. How are you feeling this year watching LeBron go through it?
I mean, I'm loving it. You know what I'm saying? Who commercial is that? I'm loving it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's McDonald's. That's McDonald's. Yeah. Now we got to pay him because you sung it.
You know what I'm saying? Because I think the fans are finally starting to see it. The same things I've been seeing. And we ain't gonna even talk about the Kyrie situation and him.
We are actually.
You know what I'm saying? But we'll talk about that later. You know what I'm saying? But it's the man is a fraud, man.
Yeah.
He's a fraud. Especially since he's been with the Lakers.
Yeah, I want to let you say what you have to say. Yeah,
honestly, after he kind of capped about that whole listening to Migos forever too, he made that entire story.
How many times has he been caught lying about dumb stuff? Yeah. Like, why would you even put yourself in that situation?
Okay.
We see him reading a book. Every book he reading, he on page 13.
Okay, but real quick, so the Migos thing. I mean, correct me because I didn't delve too deep into it, but. Like, what would have necessarily been the difference? Like, the timeline that I know he gave was incorrect. But, like, I know he said it was his first year in Miami, and that's when people went back. They're like, he wasn't even out.
My teammates knew I listened.
Well, but what if it was his second year in Miami, and he just mixed it up?
Honestly, I thought about that.
Yeah, like
I did think about that.
It's like,
but it's LeBron. It's like,
well, you're right about the books thing. I mean, he does have a history of, lying.
Now if Braun would have came out and said, "Oh shit, my bad."
It was actually my second year. I got it mixed up.
You know what I'm saying? Something like that. So I did kind of give him that benefit of the doubt.
And also maybe in this case, you're talking about somebody just passed away. Yeah. I mean, maybe he felt like it wasn't really appropriate to like hop out.
I told him they were going to be big.
Yeah.
Totally. I put my hand on his shoulder. I said, "Son, you're gonna be something one day." And Takeoff said, "Yes, sir, Mr. LeBron." No, but I mean, maybe like in that situation, I could see where like you're a huge name like LeBron, one of the biggest celebrities in America. Right after somebody died, do you really want to be so petty to like make the conversation about yourself and like correct everybody? Like, yo, okay, look, guys, this is more important than what we should be thinking about the person that just died. I actually meant it was 2013. My bad. You know what I mean? In his case, it's just like it would be tacky for him to even address it, in my opinion. So I see why you got to let that go. But it is good to break up. I do think like this year it's been ugly. Yeah, it's been ugly watching. And last year it was ugly watching, but this year I
think last year there was more expectations. This year, well, I don't have any expectations for them to do anything. I would have said that they would have made. I would have said that I think they would make the playoffs, but I don't even think that's gonna happen.
Well, it is early. It would be interesting to see if anything happens with Russell Westbrook, who hasn't been playing terrible as far as like, at least as far as production goes. His production's been up. I mean, for me, it reminds me, or I think there's a parallel a little bit between him and Tom Brady right now, where I hate to watch Tom Brady play right now because he's not. I mean, he may make the playoffs because the division's so shitty.
Yeah.
But I think I talk about this shit every week on the podcast. Even though Tom Brady played for the Patriots and whooped the Dolphins' ass my entire life, he's one of the greatest football players I've ever seen play. I don't want to sit here and watch him miss the playoffs his last year. If he plays next year, which I mean, I wouldn't be against that, but if he continued to miss the playoffs or whatever. It's just like it's sad to see. You know what I mean? And then with all the public shit, you got AB posting fucking pictures of his bro, AB Snapchat is crazy. I don't know where else people see
Snapchat it. He posted
the one where it's him and 6ix9ine and they look like they're on a FaceTime.
The latest one.
I don't know. We gotta. I mean,
it was supposedly according to TMZ is him.
Oh, what?
Having sex with some girl. Like, it just showed a girl.
She said that in the video in the Snapchat?
Yep.
It's a Snapchat.
She's like, he's just like hitting it from the side or something. She's just like, in the bed or whatever.
And this is like a
It don't show his face though.
He posted
but I guess
it to the story.
I don't know. I saw the World Star's 10-second clip of the girl just moaning and saying,
"Oh, okay. I'm gonna come."
Ridiculous.
Yeah, that's wild shit. But shout out to my boy AB laying it down. I mean, if you are gonna videotape it, that's what you want, her to be saying. Not what the fuck are you doing back there? Oh man, hell yeah!
Should have had Tom Brady instead of you. Now he's seen.
Yeah, Tom Brady. He's this fucking close away to sending fucking hitman to the door. He's playing with him like that.
I mean, that man, he just flat out wrong.
Oh, he's wild. The shit with Tom Brady is wild. And I mean, at least he hasn't addressed it in a way to where it could be excusable in any way. Because the only thing that we've heard from that situation is like that Tom Brady was only supportive, let him stay at his house and shit.
Everything. Then he show a picture of him and whatever his ex-wife's name, all hugged up after maybe the Super Bowl.
She bought a crib fucking
right across the street.
I mean, it looked like right across the waterway.
Tom's like, I am not raising those kids. Like, would you go? Would you leave me alone? I'm in Germany right now.
Yeah, did they have a game there? That's
first
crazy.
game ever in Germany today. Yeah. Tom Brady is the first person to win a game in Germany, London, England, and Mexico, and the United States.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Mexico.
They had a Mexico City game.
Oh yeah,
that he won.
How do you feel about Mexico City becoming another team?
Wow, that's ridiculous.
That would be fire.
Why is it ridiculous?
Yeah,
they was complaining about the air quality over there. They was complaining about all kind of crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying?
You got players go down there and fall out.
Stop it.
That's just gonna be one of their advantages.
Well, I mean, I don't care. But
you saw when the Bills players came down to Miami and they were fucking hot, like hot, bro. I never seen
heat hot.
Yes. Well, yeah, motherfucker, I'm not saying there are a bunch of sexy men on the side.
I know you weren't saying that, but I thought you meant like temperature. Maybe mad.
Oh, okay, yeah, the temperature hot for sure. It was closer to the beginning of the season, and this was one of the first times. I've been watching Dolphins games my entire life, and it was one of the first times I remember watching a professional team come down there, and they were like, you could see the home field advantage. You could see how the heat affected them differently, and also I think in that game,
we're Floridians and this shit.
Well, it's true, but in the game, this is another interesting point, was that they showed the sideline temp for each sideline, and the sideline for the Miami Dolphins was like 90. It was hot, but then the Buffalo Bills sideline was like 130 because the Dolphins sideline was in the shade, like strategically. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I didn't think about that.
Who won the game?
Oh, Dolphins. That was when that was this year. Yeah, that was this year when they beat them. So yeah, it was.
We're gonna have a 6:00 game, so the sun is facing west.
Well, 1 p.m.
It's facing east.
Yeah,
basically.
Well, they almost always play at 1 p.m. So it's like, and that's really the only game that you're ever gonna have that you have to even really plan for the heat, because everything after that's 4 and later, or a night game.
Say we ain't coming down there that time. Give us a 4:30 game.
Well, look,
Sunday night game.
Well, this is the thing. We got to go play them. We got to go play them in fucking December in Buffalo. So it's like it's only fair.
Yeah.
And you know what?
They will have us in the shade.
I went to this event at the Dolphins Stadium in the middle of the fucking day. And I swear to God, we were in that section that just was hot as fuck.
Yeah, the visiting section or whatever.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder, I imagine it affects the fans too. Fans sitting over there hot as fuck, just miserable.
You got to get the portable fans with the little mister.
Oh, nice. Yeah. See, you're thinking.
Yeah, cool.
You're selling shit at the stadium.
Yeah. I bring about 8 of them.
I bought in a couple waters from you.
Yeah, it's facts. Honestly, when you go to events like that, you realize that the economy outside of the stadium is as robust as the economy inside the stadium, aside from obviously the $1 billion like sponsor investments and things like that. But when you're talking about people selling waters, people selling rags, people selling
quite
like
a good tactic to be as annoying as possible, so people pay you to get out of your face.
That you think that's what it is?
I mean, sometimes. Sometimes
See,
I do need that water and I do need that rag. But
exactly. But most of the time you're like, just give me a fucking rag and leave. Here's $1. Step to the side.
Rag? Okay, cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Go to Dollar General and buy you another 3-pack for fucking $1.
Bro, and sell those shits for fuck. Yeah, they're going crazy.
Go crazy, bro.
Good for you. Yeah, until they fucking pull past us in a fucking Maybach with a driver.
Bro, the like 17-year-old, 15-year-old kid from Atlanta was like going viral saying how he has like I don't remember exactly the amount, but he said he made a substantial amount just fucking selling water. I'm like,
oh, the water boys shit. That was going crazy.
Yeah, and he was just taking care of himself. We had like a whip and a fucking house. Damn. I'm like, off the water.
I remember, did you ever hear about them in Atlanta? Yeah, this was a thing like a couple years ago, I'd say. Like, it was because I think there was a artist that went down there and like, did he tip him or didn't tip him? It was a story about him.
Fucking,
was it Lil Baby?
Yeah, someone gave him like fucking $4 and they're like, you didn't give him a dub or some shit?
Maybe it's Dub Baby.
It was Dub Baby.
I think it's Dub Baby. Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. Okay, so he gave, and then they're like, what the fuck is this shit? And then he even made a statement afterwards, like defending it. He was like, I don't exactly remember the situation, but
I do hate that whole thing. Like, just because someone's rich, they're not obligated to give anybody fucking money.
It's true. I mean, that's definitely true. I mean, you hope if somebody's in that position, specifically if they claim to have come from
the hustle.
Well, in similar predicament than what those kids are in. So you'd hope that they would inspire them in that way and take that moment.
And maybe my sense of is like he still gave what he gave.
Yeah.
If that's not good enough, then don't come at me just because I got bands. Like, I don't need to be sitting out here giving fucking
Well, they claim they all poor anyway. They claim all their contracts are jacked up. So,
I mean, it's most probably true.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they don't all claim that though. Like a lot of times, especially if they're active, then they're at the very least fronting like they got fucking crazy. Like
that's why
the baby, somebody he might not have it like that, but he definitely doesn't act like he doesn't have it like that.
No, well, and it's like once they get artists under them, then they start making more money because then they're getting.
Well, somebody's gonna end up getting screwed though.
Always.
Yeah, somebody gonna end up getting screwed.
But you're paying the fee you're paying the entrance fee. That's how I see it. Honestly, it's like an entrance fee. Like it's an invitation only game type shit. You want to make the bread? I gotta get a piece of it. I'll invitate you. Like I'll invite you in it.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, yeah, I could see that as a. But I mean, at the same time, you're kind of like it's like gatekeeping a little bit. Yeah, you know what I mean. And gates open.
Very true.
Feel me?
Yeah. Gates open, baby.
Gates open, baby.
But yeah, I mean, so in that situation, like, there's some people that are talented that based off those kind of like stipulations, like pay to play type situations where you're eliminating them from participating. But I mean, that's just what it is. I mean, world's not fair is really where it comes down to. You know what I mean? That's a sad thing that we might miss out on.
I feel like if you want it bad enough, you'll figure out how to get it.
He could have flipped and said, "Hey, at least sign him $1." You know what I'm saying? At least get an autograph.
Yeah, actually, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I think there was another situation where the like water boys in Atlanta or whatever, they gave Lil Baby, I think it was, money, and people were upset about that, and he took it. So that gave him like for his birthday, he like pulled up, and it might not have been the specifically the water boys in Atlanta, but definitely there's a situation like this that happened where he pulled up and a bunch of kids were like, "Oh yeah, here's money for your birthday," type shit, and he took it and he was just like, "Oh, thank y'all, whatever."
Appreciate it.
Yeah. So that was an interest. So like, is there any issue there? I mean, he obviously got the money. He got the money. He doesn't need that money.
If you wave $1 or something in front of me, I'm gonna snatch it.
I didn't get this way. I didn't get to this point. I think he fucking turning down money.
Let the kids keep their money.
Well, so the other side of that.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't be mad. I don't know.
No, I don't think it's anything to be mad about. I just think it's a situation kind of like that parallels what we're talking about. I don't think there's any issue with it. I think for those kids, like that's a moment for them.
Yeah.
You know, they got a little baby right in front of them. The
moment.
fact they took
And
their
it's a little
$20
baby,
bill
bro.
and was like, "Hey, I appreciate you," like fist pound. Like for them, that's a moment. Like so for them to have that gesture and him to be like, "No, I can't take your money" or whatever. I don't
it's
know.
like
Yeah, it's
being inspired by a hustler. It's like
Yeah.
they got inspired to get some money by him, and it's like, damn, bro, you got me on this grind. Like,
Yeah.
it's like showing some love. You know what I mean?
fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. We were talking about basketball. Yeah,
They're talking about LeChoke James
yeah, LeBron James.
walking off the court the other day all early. You know what I'm saying?
Did they lose?
Yeah, they
Of
lost.
course.
Yeah, it's been bad over there.
Talking crap about Kyrie. Then he changed it. Like, man, look,
Yeah.
look, man.
What about
Just shut up.
Have you heard?
Shut up and dribble.
Have you heard the? Have you heard the rumors about possibly Anthony Davis being traded now?
Well, I've been hearing that forever.
To the Lakers?
I heard about LeBron being traded to the
The
Suns.
Lakers like
Oh, yeah,
traded
the
away.
Lakers.
Traded away.
But who gonna? I wouldn't want him.
Who, LeBron?
I heard about LeBron getting traded to the Suns. I heard that's a rumor.
Yeah, I think LeBron has.
But
that
then they said
no
something
trade.
about he can't get traded right now anyway.
I think he has a no trade in general. I think.
Yeah.
So he would have to approve any trade that happens
Yeah.
with him,
He
which maybe he
should.
would to the Suns.
He should. Then I can
Yeah,
talk
I
some
don't
more noise about him, but
Yeah.
he should.
Yeah, I don't know. I think for him, like, it kind of just. I think that could hurt his overall legacy a little bit. You know.
I mean, it would.
Yeah, I feel like he's tradable. He's getting sent off. Like he's the issue in an
Yeah.
organization. For him
I think he is the issue right now.
No, I understand that, but I'm saying from his
But
perspective.
no, I see what you're saying, yeah.
For the perception, I don't know if he would waive that trade clause for that reason. Anthony Davis, I don't know if he has the same like no trade clause, and I could see where you could get a bigger haul back for him. He's young. A team could probably feel like they could still build around him because he's young enough. But I mean, me personally, I think you have Anthony Davis, you have LeBron James. You know those two pieces are working. I don't know what you got to do to get Russell Westbrook off the team, but that's got to happen. You know what I mean? You got to find a way to do that. He is going to be. No, I mean, I agree with you. I think he probably does end up being there all year. But I think if you're talking about how to get better, you know, I just don't.
I would look at trading LeBron and AD before Westbrook.
Because of maybe possible value you can get back. I can hear you because you're not getting shit back from trading Russ. Yeah. Or like nobody's even lining up to take his ass. There's some players there's some teams they're talking about they may make a move for Russ, but then it's just going to be to drop him off the team.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think overall, you know, in that situation, I think you got to make a move. Even if you're not getting a bunch of value back, you got to look at it as one. You didn't give a ton of value to get Russ in the first place. You did give up some pieces and some draft picks. That sucks. But that's because you were all in. So it didn't work. So you gotta be less afraid to, in my opinion, to.
I mean, I don't think LeBron's going nowhere. Realistically,
Yeah.
gotta keep LeBron, trade AD and Russ. That's what I. And the reason I say I think the Lakers, one, they want the person who's gonna have the record to be in their uniform.
That's a good point. Yeah.
I don't see
most
them-
scoring.
Yeah.
Most points of all time. Yeah.
Now next year, I don't know. Things might be different, but you got to keep Braun. Even though I don't like it, but you got to keep Braun. Get rid of AD and Russ if you possibly can.
You want this?
Oh, yeah.
Definitely AD, because you'll hopefully be able to get some draft picks back
Yeah.
and be able to do something.
Yeah.
At least make the playoffs. Good Lord.
No, definitely. I mean, it just.
Play in.
Yeah, I think when you're talking about the GOAT situation, I think that is going to impact that kind of conversation still. I think I've heard people argue that, well, what he's done. That's completely separate. But, I mean, you got to know when, you know, I mean, I'm not even saying to call it quits, but in that situation, it's just not working. And I have to say, you know, he's responsible for a lot of the moves that they made. The Russell Westbrook move is something he pushed for, LeBron James. So the current state that they're in, there's no way for him to be absolved from a ton of the blame. But it's just unsightly way to see him kind of finish his career. Because either way, you know, he's got like max probably like what 3 years, 4 years probably. Like that might even be pushing it. I think every year it's been a question.
I mean, man, when the Bronny, however long
Bronny's 2 more
Bronny
years.
play, I think he wants to play at least 1 year with Bronny and then call it quits.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I don't care if it's 5. I mean, I don't think it'd be 5 years. But he'll definitely be a shell of himself 4 years from now. Like, really be a shell. I mean.
Well, statistically, he's playing great this year.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
when he's on the floor,
no defense, though.
Yeah.
But statistically, when people see it, and then he has the highest plus minus in the league right now.
So you mean the lowest as far as like minus?
Well, yeah. The negative side of it.
Negative side of it. Yeah.
I mean, just imagine 4 years from now.
Yeah. Well,
if he's still in the league.
Yeah. I think you have to assume that there's going to be a drop off in his production at some point. Right now, that would be my only argument, is that we haven't really seen much of a drop off. So, like, to project that is kind of difficult. So as far as defensively, you're right. Although, I mean, with that, I would argue that the team's not constructed for him to be taking on the lion's share of the defensive responsibility, and we are kind of just in the league where there is a shortage of strong defense in general.
But yeah,
especially on an individual basis, like teams that play good defense, usually it's great team defense, like teams like the Warriors that rotate the great and things like that can guard all 5 positions, or like each player can guard 3 positions is really what I mean, so they can get on switches better and things like that.
He has to have a younger, more athletic team around him so he can cover up for him on the defensive end. Because those close games, when he can't buckle down, like Jeremy Grant when he went around him, I think it was Portland the other day.
Yeah.
Lost the game. He takes 1 minute left in the game. They up 3. He takes I don't know if it's a fade side step, something 3-pointer. Missed it. He missed the game time shot, whatever it was. And then this last game, he missed the 2 free throws. So I see what you're saying offensively. We see, he has done a good job at strategizing a way for him to continue to get his points. Sure. But defensively.
Well, and assists and rebounds. He all around.
Well, yeah.
Contributes.
But he still got all them turnovers. But defensively, he has become a liability to where he's not able to guard someone in the close games, and then they end up losing those games, or down the stretch of a game, maybe.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it's tough because, like, with players like him, he's not the only one. I think he's probably just the main one in the league.
The main one people gonna focus on.
Yeah,
Kendrick Nunn, whatever his name is. They need to send him somewhere else.
With LeBron, though, when you say like there's these moments and things like that, he's just such a big personality and big icon in the league that those things that happen to every player get blown out of proportion with him. Like everybody gets blown by. Most players do, and most players do. It might even happen at the end of the game. There's very few, like you can name on one hand probably the amount of lockdown perimeter defenders in the NBA today on one hand. And that's pretty incredible, I think.
That might be true.
Yeah, I mean, and some of those guys were going off reputation even, like Kawhi Leonard. I mean, he would be on that list, but he plays like 13 games a season. So,
if that.
So you're lucky to get him in the building that much.
But I think now and then the players aren't scared to go at LeBron. Back in the day, he had a fear about him to where they didn't want to. They would pass the ball off instead of going at him. Now they like, I want to go at you
for sure. Well, and that he's one of the better matchups defensively as far as like if you are playing matchup basketball, which a lot of times they are. As far as on the Lakers, he is. I mean, the feet are kind of slow to be honest on defense, which is crazy. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just tough. I think this year, I could honestly see this year being the last year with him with the Lakers personally. Just because if it doesn't work again, then it's like I kind of feel like both parties are like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? Like it's time.
Didn't he just sign a contract? I mean, it still could be over this year.
Last year, well, yeah. I mean, I think for LeBron, like kind of what you're talking about, if the offseason hits again, he doesn't see a realistic roadmap to being competitive again, over the last 2 years of his career, because I think that's probably what we're looking at after this year. I could see him moving.
Yeah. I think he has to go somewhere else, if possible, this year at the end of this year, because you gonna try it again with AD? No, that formula isn't working.
Well, and at this point, AD is really like when you're talking about supporting cast. That's
down. He's what you mean? What's the terminology I'm looking for? Anyway, he's gotten worse every year.
Oh, okay.
Since he's been with the Lakers.
Interesting. Yeah,
I think. I'm almost sure.
Oh shit! Now I feel like we got to look it up.
I'm almost sure of that. Cool.
Do you want to pull it up actually right there? I'd be interested. So, are you saying just overall, or like you're talking about like more like analytical points, like defensive win percentage and shit like that? Or are you saying like points, rebounds, blocks? Like
honestly, I think both.
Oh sure. Okay. Anthony Davis, just stats, and I could see that though. I mean, definitely his availability since his first year has been. Shit. So, yep, right there, career stats, perfect. With the Lakers, so I'm seeing 26 points his first year on 50% shooting, almost 10 rebounds, 3 assists, and then 2 something blocks. Then the next year down to 1 something blocks, lower in assists, lower in rebounds by like 1.5, and 5 less points. So
5, goodness.
Yeah, that's a pretty steep jump. The year after that, 2 points up from the year previous. So he did go up again, but only shot 18% from three. That's crazy. 9.8 rebounds per game, so that was up from the year previous for 2 rebounds. And 3 assists, 2 blocks again. So, I mean, he's been pretty consistent, but his first year was great. So his first year he came out and he was going crazy. Almost had 10 rebounds a game, and had 26 points per game on 50% shooting. So he was efficient, and 33% from 3, which is his highest he's ever shot with the Lakers. He's never shot over 26% other than that. And then also contributed on the defensive end, blocks.
But then his impact. You see a game, he might have 25 points right now, and it's like, well, I don't remember 15 of those points.
They're quiet points.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I could definitely see that. And I think with Anthony Davis, you're getting somebody that, I mean, we never... Like, he wasn't known to be, like, a strong personality by any means or have a... but
I don't think that was something we ever really thought of until now, because he's the one who's supposed to supposedly take over the reins right now.
Yeah, but
LeBron is transitioning down.
Well, at New Orleans, I'm sure everybody kind of thought of him as de facto the leader, but you never really, like, didn't have like a Kevin Garnett kind of like, or I mean, a Dwayne Wade or like whatever, any of these, Jason Tatum even, you know what I'm saying? When you see them before the games and stuff like that, you see them interacting with all their teammates, you see them pumping people up, they seem ready. Yeah. With Anthony Davis, he was more like a Kevin Durant, to be honest, where he just looked like I'm here to do basketball.
I'm here to play basketball. Let's go. I'm done.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think that's what the world thought, though. Whether it was true or not, I mean, what you saying?
What we're saying, or they thought that he was a leader.
Correct. They thought, or we thought, whatever. Yeah. He was a leader.
Yeah, I don't know. I think so. I mean, I
never even really thought about it.
Yeah, I didn't feel like that. I didn't think that it would necessarily be bad with LeBron James, because I could see how maybe somebody that's a little bit more of a quiet, reserved personality could fit well with LeBron, because there's not gonna be any friction there. But I mean, with LeBron James's kind of like leadership style, I do think just in his career, it benefits him to have other strong vocal leaders. You know what I mean? Like, this is I think the first time you're seeing him be 100% the dominant personality. There's nobody else really to look at. You got. Well, because before you had Kyrie Irving, like I'm talking about the Cavaliers team, because the Heat team you already know there was mad strong personalities there that knew what they were doing. Champions. With the Cavaliers team, you had Kyrie Irving, who was going to have his point of view regardless. You had J.R. Smith, which was a veteran at the time and respected. Who else did you have on the Cavs teams that were competitive?
I think some of the
that already is enough as far as like two vocal
some more players on there.
leaders.
I just don't remember.
Yeah, for sure.
But they weren't like big names necessarily.
Yeah. But either way, I think having that kind of like people, like when you have a strong personality like LeBron James, for example, I think it's important to have other people on the team that he sees at least as like partially peers, and that he respects. On this Lakers team, like who is there other than Anthony Davis, who I think is like little brother, and then Russell Westbrook, who's like just a fucking nuisance in their opinion. You know what I mean? I think think I sent you the video where Russell Westbrook took a shot. Literally, him, Anthony Davis, and LeBron James like at the same time. We're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
This was like 2 weeks ago or whatever.
The thing is, like AD just tried to call out Russ the other day. You can't have that many my bads. You try to keep that to 1 or 2. Like he don't even know the right things to say, not to point.
Fingers.
Like, yeah. I mean, you can say that, but figure out a way to say that.
Why in public?
Huh?
Why in public? What good does that serve the team?
Shouldn't even say it in public. That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
Like LeBron, he'll say something, and then you got to try to decipher it. And then maybe he just said exactly what he wanted to say. Yeah. But as we analyze it, we trying to analyze what he said and break it down. But he said that, so maybe that's exactly what he meant. Yeah. But AD, like, you just throw the man up under the bus.
No, you're right.
When you ain't playing the greatest, or if you're gonna call out him, why you don't call out LeBron when he done dumb stuff?
Fair, and I think with Anthony Davis, I think you already kind of hit the nail on the head as far as like he's not playing his best. So I think the last thing I want to see is somebody that maybe is struggling. Like I think it's fair to say, let's say Westbrook is struggling. I don't want to hear somebody else that's struggling. One, criticize my play, but and then turn around and take no personal accountability for themselves. Yeah. So it's like if you're gonna criticize my play, at the very least, take some accountability on yourself. Like he could have started the statement, I'm not playing my best and things like that. We as a team, and then whatever you want to say, and then whatever you want to say. But it's like, we're all struggling. Specifically, you, like Anthony. Honestly, Anthony Davis, he played 11 games this year. I mean, it's pretty par for the course is what he's been doing. 25% from 3. I mean,
but
bro,
you don't see that extra hustle.
Shut the fuck up.
Like
and
y'all
practice
losing.
Put some shots up.
Yeah, you don't see the extra hustle. I don't see, like I say, anything out the norm of.
Yeah.
Just, putting in that extra effort. Like, man, we got to get this team on the right foot. You know what I'm saying? The mindset of the team.
I think KCP actually said, which is somebody that I didn't love on the Lakers when he was there, but I read an article recently where he had said that for him it's been kind of sad to watch LeBron this year because he feels like he hasn't seen like the spark. And what you just now said, based off like not seeing whatever from the team, that came to my mind because I'm thinking like it just seems like they're not playing with any passion for basketball. There's no passion for what they're doing out there. They're just out there doing a thing. You know what I mean? Like when I pick up, like, for example, the podcast microphone or something like that, like I get excited because I'm passionate about this. It's not hard for me to get excited to talk about basketball or just whatever. We happen to be talking about football, whatever. I'm passionate about the thing. So it's not just me doing the thing, and hopefully that comes through to the audience. When I'm watching the Lakers right now, it literally just looks like guys out there just like playing ball, and they don't really give a fuck about how the outcome goes, and they're just not invested. So how could I be invested is I guess would be my question for them, and your fan base and all that. I guess they're going to be invested because you're wearing purple and gold, and that's just what it is. It's a brand. But outside of that, it's just it's not a fun team to watch. It's not a team you want to root for right now.
Yeah. So and then going into that a little bit, well, not that a little bit more, but just going kind of back to the part about LeBron staying or leaving next year. They're not going to be good next year. I mean, you get rid of Russ. Who's in free agency that you can get there? Because that's a lot of money coming off the table. Who's in free agency you can get? What trades you can? You can't really make no trades.
Well, you could see it. You could potentially. I mean, it's not something we see in basketball as much, I feel like, but I mean, LeBron would have to restructure his contract, and that's something to talk about. So if you want to stay with the Lakers, if I was the Lakers, you know what I mean? That's something that we'd have to talk about. You know what I mean? Like, is there a possibility we can knock $5-10 million off your contract so we can go find more players to put around you we're not wasting the end of your career? I can't imagine LeBron James, and this is probably why there's the lack of passion when you watch them play, because like LeBron James isn't used to playing for nothing. You know what I mean? Just a check. And that's what he's doing. But like in reality, the team's so shitty that's just, well, I mean, how they're performing so shitty that I feel like that's kind of what they've accepted, is that they're not playing for a bigger picture this year. It's, you got to play 82 games and then we can go home.
I think he needs to start probably cutting his doggone minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't going to say go down like Chris Paul type minutes, but he probably should cut his minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just for those moments in the game where they really need you.
Yeah, maybe that could help the defensive thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And he's still gonna break the record this year. I mean, it's just a matter of time, you know.
Well, with the hey, that's when you should come back with your show. I don't know how close he is. But yeah, we definitely need we need a whole hour-long rant on that and how upset you are.
Choke.
He shouldn't even been playing that many minutes.
I'm gonna go back and count the points.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. But yeah, with LeBron, I think that's interesting. I mean, honestly, if they did cut the minutes, I wonder how much that would affect how effective he would be able to be on the defensive end. So, like you said before, LeBron was kind of known previously as a defensive stopper. Players were intimidated by him on the defensive side of the floor, so on and so forth, back in the day. When that started to change, I remember that being when was it? Was it the Cavs or was it the Lakers? I know the reasoning was he was like, hey, I'm on this team, I'm taking more of the offensive load and more of the I feel like it was his first year at the Lakers when it got really bad, and that was his reason.
Well, I think that's the first time, like, when old boy pushed him out there to play defense.
Kuzma, yeah. Kuzma pushed him. That shit is wild, actually.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Could you imagine that happening to Michael Jordan?
No, I couldn't.
What do you think would happen if that happened on the court? Do you think
somebody pushed Mike?
Yeah. Do you think he'd not address it on the court, just would like slap him in the back in the locker room after? Or you think something might have to happen right then and there?
I think he would have realized at that point he needed to retire.
Damn it. All right. That's simple. Well, anything else for LeBron James before we move on?
LeChoke? No, I ain't got nothing for you yet, Cole.
Yeah.
I mean, on the Kyrie story, but other than that.
Well, no, the Kyrie, that's where I wanted to move into next, and then I want to get into some of this UFC stuff. So, yes, Kyrie Irving, he is still not playing currently. He's been given his list of things to do before he could return. I was just curious if you guys think that we'll see him play again.
Or this year
definitely, specifically.
Definitely. Because Jaylen Brown is part of the Players
Association?
Yeah, they definitely. I think there's enough people that has Kyrie's back that he's definitely going to play again.
Okay. Do you think,
sooner than later.
And you think he's not going to complete that list of things to do?
There was one thing I don't think he's going to complete. I can't remember the last one, though.
The last one was have a meeting with the team owner and demonstrate understanding.
I don't know.
That was the most wild to me, and
that is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, he might complete the 6, but I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree. I wonder how much of that will stay intact. I think it kind of creates a dangerous precedent when you're talking about basically like the public humiliation aspect of it. To have like some list of things that a player has to do before they come back, I imagine that's probably not completely unheard of. But for it to be public and for it to be a part of like public discourse is where it kind of just makes me uncomfortable.
I think the biggest thing is Kyrie just tweeted the link to the movie or the book or whatever. He didn't give his opinion. He just Shaq called him an idiot.
Well, hold on before we move on past that, because I mean we have our own personal opinion on that. That in itself could be wrong. Do you think that's not wrong at all?
What
so let's just say what he did. We can remove it from its context if you want or whatever, but posting a video and let's say it has some harmful material in it. Is that over the top to say that?
Well, I've never seen it though. So
okay. So what some people have suggested that's the harmful material in there is some of the things that it suggests that Jewish people started. So like the transatlantic slave trade.
But then he yet himself says that he's Jewish.
What does that have to do with anything?
Well, he's like.
When he's saying he's Hebrew, so he's not saying, when speaking of Jewish people, the people that are responsible for the that this thing is suggesting, he's not saying, hey, I'm one of those people.
Well, that's why So, from my understanding, he says the Jewish people is what is being the negative term in this whole thing. But he says that he's a Jew.
Yeah, because because he's saying that he is, which actually I wanted to look into this on a podcast, which I guess we can make it this one.
anti-Semitic because he's a Jew.
Well, the theory has something to do with like the original 12 tribes of Israel. And I think that what this is suggesting, like this theory is suggesting, is that Jewish people are not Jews.
Yeah.
So that's why it's like that's separate. And that actual Jews and actual Israelites are, whoever Kyrie Irving thinks he is. I don't know. Whoever he identifies with.
Israelites?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what,
Well, I mean, I've heard that.
That's what
me too. Yeah.
Kodak says he is too.
Yeah.
A lot of black people say they're the Israelites.
Yeah. What was
I'm
the
not
fucking,
saying it's
yeah,
true
Bill
or not
Israel?
true because I don't know.
You remember that album,
Yeah.
Bill Israel? Everyone's going nuts. Well, I mean, I don't know either. But so, this is my main point. So, okay, we don't even have to agree that what he posted was harmful. Although, I think that that's not even my point. My point is that I don't think that there's an argument that he didn't promote something. So, because I've heard that. And I've had this argument with actually Deuce Andretti on here.
He promoted it because he
posted it.
Yeah.
Once you post something and you have a large platform, it ends there. That's promoting it.
Yeah.
Whether you agree with it, even you could post something that you don't agree with, and it still is promoting it.
Yeah.
So the argument that I think I would make, because I agree with you that I think that the punishment was too harsh. The argument that I would make is just posting something is not an endorsement of it. So, and just to promote something is not an endorsement of it. Promoting can be in some ways somewhat unintentional. You know what I mean? I'm not giving him that excuse because I don't think it was unintentional. I think he posted it because he's like, oh, hey guys, if you want to check this out, check it out.
But who
He definitely
says,
posted like
I
that.
don't even know if he
Wild.
should have got in trouble. I don't know enough about it to say if he shouldn't have gotten in trouble.
Well,
because
could you pull up real quick? Because I just want to see let's just start with the 12 tribes of Israel. And then
what if they really did start the transatlantic slave trade?
Okay, what if they really did start the transatlantic? Okay, the 12 sons of Jacob and the 12 tribes of Israel.
You got Shem on there?
That shit is too fucking small for me to read. If you can read it and holler, but damn, they got a fucking whole whiteboard dedicated to this shit. So you're saying what if what he posted is controversial but true?
Yeah.
So in my opinion, I personally don't think that he should have been punished to the extent. I think public discourse should happen.
What if it's true? Then he shouldn't have been punished at all.
Yeah, but then again, okay. So I guess I pose the same question. What if it's not true? Then I mean, you don't know that it's true, and that's not common. That's not what we've accepted as truth. Now I think that we could delve into that deeper, and then that's part of where he risked the fact he's not a philosopher and he's not a I don't know what would be somebody that would have this kind of like public discourse currently. My thing is he has a day job. Okay, he has a day job. It's basketball. He works for a company just like all of us. So then when we say some shit that the company doesn't agree with, the private company has the right to say, yo, that's not in line with us. We don't agree with you. Stay over there with that shit. I think that's what personally should have happened. They could have came out and said, we don't condone this. We don't agree with it. Whatever you want to say. But yeah, suspending him indefinitely until he finishes a list of like a I'm sorry tour is pretty fucking wild. Tribe of Judah.
12 children, fucking.
So okay.
Nick Cannon style.
Fucking Nick Cannon style, exactly. Oh man, Nick Cannon got in trouble for this shit too.
Oh, for backing him?
No, but previously he got in trouble for the Israelite shit. He had somebody on his podcast that was talking that
LeBron
shit.
got in trouble too.
About
he had to
shit like
apologize. Back in 2018.
Hey, this is random, dog, but there was a person on Joe Rogan podcast talking about how the Maldives are like there's someone around there in that area is producing free energy type shit.
Okay.
And there was like this crazy fire.
Fire over
the
there.
other week that like burned down and killed some people. It's just crazy.
Damn.
Interesting.
Yeah. And it was a situation where, like in the Maldives, it was all like renewable energy and shit like that.
I don't know if these two had similar. It was just a weird coincidence that after he went off, that this happened in the Maldives.
Yeah. No, I mean, shit like that, I would not be surprised by. Do you want to go up and just see like what kind of like try to get some text on this shit. What are you pulling up, LeBron?
I'm trying to find it.
We're Jews. Ruben. Okay, so
Jalen Rose had the. Oh no, he apologized for something different.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are the sons of Abraham, I believe, and
The sons of 12 sons of what's his name?
What about Noah's sons?
yeah, what's going on with Noah's sons nowadays?
Jacob's sons.
Jacob's sons. And these tribes supposedly, is there a way that we could pull up like what can you actually screenshot this though? I'll put this in the thingy, in the pod. And by the way, do you think this is important? Specifically, I'm curious about you. As a black man living in America, do you think whether or not you're a Jew or not, do you think that's important?
Yeah, I think it's important. Very important.
Why do you think that?
Because then that goes back biblically.
Some black people think they're Indians.
Well, I think that too.
I do too.
I
but I'm just saying,
think the black people was here when they was here with the so-called Native Americans.
I think everybody was everywhere. There was a mix of races everywhere.
But it's just important to know your history. If you know your history, then it can say so much more about you. You know, your culture or whatever the case may be. I guess it's not your culture anymore, but
yeah. I mean, question: if you found out that you were a Jew today, well, how would that change your life tomorrow?
Honestly, I don't know
Would you wear
because I don't know
hat?
enough about it.
Would you wear the little hat?
No, because I don't know where they got that from.
No,
Hey,
yeah.
did you see that Jew in college that's like going crazy with the fucking 3-point shots and shit? He's like this crazy baller.
Oh no, I didn't.
Yeah, he's like going crazy. He's an Orthodox Jew. Like I guess that's some big thing. I guess.
Yeah, that's interesting. Damn, just putting up shots.
Yeah, going crazy with his hat on and everything in the game.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
legit.
LeBron had to apologize for using the
Pull it up,
rap lyrics
Yeah, I need that.
of talking about Jewish money.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, was it Jewish? Oh yeah, the Jay-Z shit.
But did I wonder did whatchamacallit have to apologize? Busta Rhymes saying A-Rap money.
I think he at some point did. I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing something come out about that.
No, Al got mad at me. I said A-Rap one time, but I mean I didn't know.
Really?
You
like for real, mad? Like you tell it really rubbed him the wrong way?
Yeah. I mean he didn't like. He was like, "No, you don't say that."
He's like, "Never say that shit again."
Yeah, you don't say that. You gotta say Arabic.
Arabic.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
I didn't know it was a bad term or whatever.
Did he tell you why it offended him?
No, I don't think I asked him. Well, where does that work?
Yeah, so you're like, well, let me chill before you fucking take this shit to HR.
I'm just kidding. He entered the G League, I guess.
Well, still though, yeah. Damn. So, but he's balling in the G League. We're saying.
Yeah.
This dude's a DoorDash driver.
I don't know. That's not him.
Does he have the curls on the side?
I'm pretty sure he had. Like,
That's lit. Yeah, that's.
So then, so what? The NBA also got mad at Kyrie because Silver is also Jewish. Considered.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you don't think any Jewish people own any of those fucking teams?
They own damn near all of them.
Okay. Well, I mean, look, bro. That's what I'm saying. There is consequence for the shit you're saying. You feel what I'm saying? Like that's just like, there's no way to get around that. If you're gonna say controversial shit, you got to expect that there's gonna be some backlash. I just think,
but
yeah,
you got to think. Shaq viewed the movie at his movie theater. Nobody said nothing to him about it.
Is this the dude?
Yeah.
Shaq called the man an idiot, but his movie theater in New Jersey played the movie back in 2018.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that. But then there again, I kind of think the same thing applies. Where him playing the movie, I think it gives it a platform. So I guess you could say promotes it. He
definitely promoting it.
Yeah, but it doesn't. It's not an endorsement. It doesn't mean because he played it in his movie theater he agrees.
Yeah,
with
but
the
why
movie.
he did not get the same backlash that?
Probably because people didn't know. Because Kyrie posted it on his.
Now they know.
And yeah, okay.
Yeah. And then Jeff Bezos is in talks about buying an NBA team, the Suns.
Screen record it.
He's about to talk in pursuit or whatever, trying to buy the team or do an endorsement deal with the NBA.
Yeah.
But he sells the book. He actually makes money off of it.
Yeah, I understand that. I don't think the people that you're mentioning should be completely isolated from it.
Hell no. I mean, if you're going at Kyrie for this, but you're selling the book, won't you? The book got to be burned.
I think it's a documentary.
Whatever it is, the movie, documentary, whatever.
Well, I mean, let's call it what it is.
Why is he allowed to share it on his platform? If Kyrie just tweeted it, which promotes it, whatever you want to call it, and by the way, to be clear, promotes it way more than Amazon having it on their fucking platform. Now, how many people have gotten it from Amazon now?
Based off Kyrie promoting it?
Based off Kyrie, yeah, he take it off of that end.
Well, I mean, look, that's not. I mean, I'm not completely opposed to that. Although, for me, like I personally disagree with the amount of trouble that Kyrie's gotten into in the first place. So let's be clear about that.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm being consistent. Where it's like I don't think that. I personally think this is where I guess maybe I'm a little wild with it. I think with free speech, it should be out there. Like if people want to take in that information, then and if it's and I haven't watched the documentary myself, if it's stupid fucking ideology, then anytime they have public discourse with somebody, they should be corrected. And then you challenge it.
If you saying it should be out there because it's free speech, then
that's what I personally believe.
Be able to just tweet it.
No, because that's what, like I said, that's what I personally believe. If the people that own the NBA and that are Kyrie Irving's employers don't share my belief, then you know what I'm saying? Like,
then why?
Yeah.
Okay, that's your belief. Okay, I got
my personal belief.
Yeah.
And I don't own any NBA teams though, to be clear. So it's like,
yeah. But I think since Kyrie has gotten so much flack, Shaq need to go apologize and do some of the same stuff.
I think Kyrie should have to play this dude. He sits here and busts his ass.
I think Amazon, something needs to happen to Amazon. And then why would they be able to buy an NBA franchise?
I'm going to ask you then. Well, do you think that the movie should be available? In your personal opinion?
I think it should be available.
Okay, so then you think Amazon should sell it? Or yes or no?
We are talking about a movie.
Should Amazon sell it?
Not a documentary.
In my personal opinion.
Well, no, I think a documentary, but the ideas that are being put forth, some people are challenging as false. But the movie itself, I think, is categorized as a documentary.
Yeah, I think they should be able to sell it, yes. But the fact that Kyrie got so much flack, they should get flack too.
Yeah.
I mean, they actually make money off of it.
I think they are. I mean, you're not the first person I've heard say this. Anybody that's in defense of Kyrie, I've heard say the same thing. Where it's like, well, why aren't you saying anything to Amazon? Why aren't you saying? And I understand
they're
that.
About to allow Amazon to possibly buy a team.
Who owns Amazon?
Well, I don't know who owns it. It used to be Jeff Bezos.
Okay,
but he's associated with.
So who is he answering to? Because that's the issue. The problem is Kyrie answers to somebody. That's the only issue here. He has a job in which he has to answer to somebody.
Yeah, but they're about to allow him to buy an NBA team, which the Suns are not. So the Clippers kicked out their owner for saying the N-word, and then the Suns the same thing. Mm-hmm. And now he's going to go buy the franchise that's getting kicked out for the N-word, but then
and he sells something on his former platform, so that's why he shouldn't be able to do that.
Huh?
You're saying because he sells this movie on his former platform,
only because people are giving Kyrie so much hell about it.
Yeah, then
that guy should, whoever owns the book, have to go independent, selling his own, out the back of his damn trunk or something.
Making bread right now. It's about the it's about the 12 tribes of Israel.
Okay.
Stuff like that. It's
basically sound like it's discrediting the Jews of being Jews.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's
saying the black people are the Jews, which I've heard that for years.
Yeah, it's proposing that, and that's something. Yeah, I've heard people say that, and I've heard people not get any backlash for it too. I think another thing to consider here is that a lot of this, I think, is a response from Kanye West. To be honest, like this is like a ripple effect. So, like you said. You've heard people say this before. Kendrick Lamar has an album where like the theme is this throughout it, and nobody ever gave him any backlash. Nobody ever canceled him because of it. But it's because it wasn't a hot button issue. Like Kyrie, just like a dumbass, a week after Kanye West is everywhere talking about Jewish people, verbal assault on Jewish people for sure. He was going hard. And whether you agree or you don't agree with like some of the things he's saying, I don't know anybody that's of a sound fucking mind that agrees with everything Kanye was saying. Like, he was going crazy. And then right after that, Kyrie posts this. So then not only does it seem like it's a promotion of this specific material that he's putting out, but it also could appear to be a little bit of an endorsement on with what Kanye's saying, almost as if like, hey, this is like the evidence behind what Kanye's been saying is how it could be perceived.
Yeah, Kanye did something dumb because he made it about all Jews,
sure,
instead of just the Jews or the music industry or whatever the case may be. That's where, and then he kind of went back and took that back. If you watch the interview,
and then doubled down on it again, several times.
Yeah, so
I think that timing is something that can't be underestimated. I mean, with Kanye, they did pretty much everything they could have done to him, and then he still was saying basically "fuck you." Yeah, so the thing is, Kyrie, is trying to do that, but Kyrie hasn't established himself in the same way Kanye West has, to where I genuinely believe if Kanye West decided to put out another design of like a new sneaker that he got manufactured in China somewhere, he's going to be making fucking hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars off that. He's going to make all the profit off of it because everybody has severed ties from him. Kyrie doesn't have that same luxury. You know what I mean? If Kyrie comes out with a shoe, I don't know that it's going to go crazy. That could be some Marlboros. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, if anybody's going to buy him, because now he's fucking radioactive. He just hasn't insulated himself in the same way Kanye West has.
Yeah, he has to come out with his own branding, own shoe, and do it from there.
You're talking about Kanye
and Kyrie.
Yeah, but with Kyrie, he's not even on a court. What else do we know Kyrie? Like,
Kanye
can do everything that we know.
Bring out a basketball shoe.
Okay, but how's he selling it? He was selling it before.
Get easy, and then get with Kanye, and then they figure out how to sell it.
Yeah, that could be an option. So, but the thing is, with Kanye West, everything that we know and love that Kanye West did previously to all this shit, he can actually still do on his own. He can still make music. There's nothing that's going to stop him from doing that. Kyrie, is he going to make his own fucking basketball league? And then, like, good luck. Good luck. You know what I mean? Honestly,
he did talk about that in the bubble.
He did talk about that, but who else is going with him at this point? At that time, he was talking about the players.
Yeah.
He was talking about several of the players making like a player league type shit.
That ain't gonna happen.
That's not going to happen now. Yeah, because nobody's like, not nobody. You might have some people, but like the main players are not going to. Yeah, they're not going to risk their
millions of dollars.
No, and their clean name, like the branding. You know what I mean? It's not going to happen. So just I think it's a little bit of lack of self-awareness from Kyrie's standpoint, and like I said, to post it the time he did, I think was extra foolish. So I think that's where he's getting a lot of the blowback.
Yeah, I think piggybacking off of Kanye, or that's how some people see it.
Sure.
That hurt him. Definitely hurt him.
Yeah.
But I just feel like leave my dog alone. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and like I said, I do agree with you overall. I think that in America, he should be able to post something that's his own belief, and then I think that people should challenge that. I think more like public discourse is important. Educate him, or just if he doesn't want to be educated, and some people like aren't even interested in learning or like changing their opinion, if it's even false in the first place, then yeah, just make him look fucking foolish on a public platform, and then people that feel like him, maybe you're able to convert some people that originally he had the hearts and minds of. But to just like basically martyrize him which is what they're doing right now, in my opinion, by unfairly
well, they finally come out and said that they don't see him as racist or whatever.
Yeah, I saw that. I think Adam Silver, right? He said he had to sit down with him, and he said,
I think him and the owner. Maybe not the owner though, but I know definitely Adam Silver.
It was the owner too.
Yeah. No, I think that's good that they're coming out and saying that. I think it's in their own self-interest, unfortunately.
He yet to play though.
Well, to be honest though, this is like the shady part of that I take from that. And maybe I'm being cynical, but I think just as much as they're supporting Kyrie in that, they're preparing for the blowback for the inevitable, which they know at some point they're going to have to come to an agreement where Kyrie is going to be back in the NBA.
Yeah.
So what's the alternative? They say, yeah, no, I talked to Kyrie. He's definitely wild and racist as fuck. Anyway, so next week he's back on the team and going to be playing for the Brooklyn Nets. So it's just as much self-serving, in my opinion, for Adam Silver to come out and say that, and Joe Tsai to come out and say that, as much as it is to actually support Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, because I seen a podcast that said basically, and this guy supposedly be having all this Carcino. But anyway.
Oh, your boy.
Yeah. But anyway, sometimes he be killing me. Like, you just know everything.
Yeah.
You done seen everybody email, man. Shut up.
Literally, yeah. Him and Kwame Brown together.
But no, it just be him.
Okay.
Oh man, how I get this information? Like, come on, dude. But anyway,
I feel you.
now I forgot what the hell I was about to say.
Well, you're saying Carcino. He got he said he's killing you.
And
why is Carcino killing you recently?
Yeah, I forgot.
All good. I mean, we're talking about Kyrie and we're talking about Jews.
Said.
Well, brother, if you remember, just let us know.
Yeah, I'll let y'all know.
All good. Y'all want to move into the UFC topics for the night? We can get this thing going.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about it.
Okay. Well, all good.
Except for old boy lost.
Yeah, Izzy, yes.
Lasagna lost. Now let me stop.
Lasagna, he fucking killed him just now. He's already dead. No, but yes, Izzy last night fought Alex Pereira, and that was UFC 281. That was the middleweight championship fight. It was a great fight. Me and Bills watched it together. Check that out on the channel. For anybody that hasn't seen it yet, we did the live commentary reaction to it, and just want to kind of talk about the fallout of that and where we see things going from here. Definitely, it was a shocking.
But that's the third time though. So why is that a shock? By the way,
well, because
somebody whoop your behind twice, and now it's a shock on the third time.
It's a similar sport, but a different sport. So he did that in kickboxing. He beat him twice. So this was the third time.
So because I don't know all this stuff.
Okay.
So they were doing kickboxing.
Yeah, before,
which is different from MMA.
Yeah, slightly. It doesn't have the ground aspect, and then just generally like how people fight in kickboxing is kind of limited to certain styles for the most part. So there's certain styles you might come. And there's some certain styles, even stand-up styles that you might come across in UFC or MMA that they're not going to be as present, like boxers and stuff like that. So either way, so Izzy, he's been MMA fighting now for like 10 years or something like that. So he's advanced greatly since then. And then obviously he's also playing a game that or sport that has a whole nother aspect to the ground game portion of it, which Alex has. I think this was his 8th UFC fight total. I think he was 6-1.
Oh yeah, all together, not in the UFC.
Yeah. I think he was 6-1 in MMA, not kickboxing. So they both have wild records as far as kickboxing goes. I think Israel Adesanya had like 70-something wins kickboxing. Is that right? Do you remember?
77-10.
77-10. Okay, so yeah, something crazy. So either way, so Izzy
actually it was like 113-10 or so. It was some wild shit.
That's fucking nuts.
But 2 of them was the old boy. So
2 of the losses. Yeah, you're right. He had a loss by decision. Was that the first one or the second one? That was decision. First one. And then they fought again, and Izzy was supposedly winning that fight, and he got knocked out. So that kind of mirrored this situation, at least from listening to Israel talk about it after the fight. I'm just realizing how ironic it is that this guy's name is Israel. Just saying. Segues are fucking on fire. So after the fight, I watched some of like the post-fight press conferences and interview. He did. He got knocked out.
He was definitely dazed. They stopped it.
Yeah.
But
that's what I heard. He wasn't protecting himself, I heard.
Yeah, it was a TKO, technical knockout.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. His hands did drop. He was still moving his head after the fight. That's another thing that they actually talked about. That's one thing I do love about the MMA media. I feel like they do ask the questions that the fans actually want to know. Yeah.
They do.
Yeah,
and I love Dana White. I watched every single one of his press conferences. There's not an owner that I can care about to listen to more than him.
That's
honestly
fair. I mean, he's well. I mean, I'm sure he's not completely honest, obviously, because you have things you got to keep close to the chest. But he's more honest than most and more transparent.
Funny you just said that because the press conference I just watched, all the questions they were asking Dana's like, "You guys got my room bugged or something?" Like every time he's asked, he's like, "We were just talking about that in the room."
Literally, yeah. I've seen several where they're like, "Yeah, I was just talking to the matchmakers about this or whatever." Yeah, they'd be on his ass. But they also ask the fighters are always available for the most part unless they go to the hospital, and they'll ask them great questions as well. So. One thing that Israel was talking about a lot after the fight was how much it mirrored the first fight and how eerie he kind of thought that was, which was interesting to kind of hear him talk about that. As far as like
it was like the first 2 fights in one.
And he didn't. And like they asked if he wanted to fight him again, and he's even like, "I'm sure that'll happen." But which I understand this. You just got done with the fucking fight, but he's like, "I'm sure that'll happen." But right now, I just need to kind of step away and kind of gather myself. And he said something about like medical issues. He's like, "I don't speak to you guys a lot about like my medical shit because I like to keep it close to the vest." But he's like, people talk about like my chest and stuff like that. He's like, and that really may relate to something serious. And he's like, things like
chest. What's going on with chest?
Before his, I think last fight, he had like just his pecs look different. And
his
like
nipples and shit.
Yeah. And people were kind of like, is he on steroids? Is actually what they were saying. And so, like I said, what he was alluding in this situation is like, we're humans and we deal with actual like medical shit. And he's like, I got to take some time to actually make sure I'm 100% good and straight. But yeah, so in this fight, he was weaving and stuff like that. And my point is that afterwards, another question that he got asked was, did he feel like it was an early stoppage? Which I always think is interesting because sometimes you'll have fighters that are like 100%, let me go out fucking dead. He's like, don't make that call. And then you hear fighters that are like, that agree with it or whatever. He had an interesting perspective. He said that he felt like it was an early stoppage. He felt like if it would have continued to go, he would have survived the round or whatever and got to a decision at the very least. But he said that he spoke to his trainers and his team afterwards, and they said that it was a good stoppage. And he said he trusts them and that, it's the same kind of shit, that we'll go forward and we'll, try to get back to it. But yeah, how he was talking about it was different, Izzy. But then again, at the same time, like we go through shit and things like that, like adversity and things like that, do change who we are. And it doesn't automatically mean it's a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're seeing him fucking 30 minutes after being humiliated or humbled, however you want to look at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's at the top of the world champion, really can't be beat by anybody that's his size in the UFC so far. This is the first person he's lost to that is actually in his weight class.
So did they even play any of the ground game?
A little bit.
Yeah, and he won that round.
Yeah, he did. He was on top for a majority of it, controlled a majority of it.
So I'm wondering, but I would assume maybe that'll be part of his strategy if they fight again.
It was. He knew that was that was what he was told, but he wanted it to be a striking.
Well, and
so he just wanted to prove.
But honestly, I don't even know so much. I think it probably would be. I might be misspeaking, but maybe I might be conflating two things. But I want to say that I heard him in the post fight. Did you watch the post fight yet?
I don't.
No.
Okay. Not his. No.
Well, I think that he might have said something.
Dana's.
I think he might have said something about it, kind of like wearing him out, the ground game and stuff like that. But the reason I say that, but it might not have been him. I know Deuce was saying that. He's like, "Oh, you shouldn't have taken him to the ground. That probably wore him out." So maybe I'm just like conflating the conversations that I had there. But he was winning on his feet. So even on his feet, don't be wrong.
He was piecing his
ass up for 100% going into that 5th round. Israel Adesanya was winning
and that's
the fight.
The last round.
That's the last round, yes.
It was either 3-2 or 4-1.
So he got caught
on anybody's card. Bro, I'm telling you, anybody that watched that fight felt like he was winning. If that fight ended after the 4th round and they would have came back with any other decision, it would have been an outrage. So to be fair, like as far as like standing on his feet, he did prove a point there for the most part. And I think he showed that he could stand with him. It's just with fighting, it's a bitch because it's like,
really
bro, one
punch
can end the shit.
Because the whole ending of it, like he would have won with him standing. Like that to him is like a personal.
Yeah, that's the psych
win.
part of it. Yeah,
because he lost to him in the kickboxing match, so he's like, I need to prove that I can stand with him. I don't want
to fucking have anybody say that I won this due to the fact that I had him taken down and I wasn't the better striker. And that's how I personally, my ego is. That's how I feel.
No, that's interesting. I think that's possible for sure.
So he's like, I'm just gonna stand up, and then you just can't stand with Alex. Like it's just as a smart tactic. don't get hit by him.
Well, especially when you're winning at that point. It's like, and he was trying to do a little bit of grappling, like against the cage in that last round, and trying to ride it out. But the reality is, and we were talking about the entire fight as far as like just like from a physique standpoint, you could
Alex
look
is
at
also just fucking strong.
Yeah, you could look at him, bro, and you can tell like he's got power in his fucking hands. Like, bro, look.
What do you have to say after the fight? Obviously, he just won the chip, right?
Yeah, he said, "Look, I'm sorry about the shit talking. I've been training this my whole life and all this other shit."
Alex did?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry about the shit talking.
Yeah, he's like, it's not me. I did it for the promotion. You know, I worked hard to get here.
They damn near all do that.
Well, but
not all of them.
Well, to a certain extent, that's a not new phenomenon because you've always had people like Chael Sonnen and things like that do that.
Guaranteed in his position too. You got a bunch of white folks in suits telling you to like,
oh yeah, go
sell
talk
this
shit,
fight, homie. Like,
yeah, we need shit. Well, and also letting you know, like, yo, if you sell this many fights, this is how much money you're going to see on the back end. This is life changing shit. But yeah, since Conor McGregor and things like that, that's when I believe, and I think it's fair to say that it changed the fight game as far as that goes. As far as that's how you sell fights. There's really no other way to sell fights.
I mean, that's interesting.
And before that, I feel like, and I do feel like we're getting more to that because you have some fighters nowadays that I think push against that as far as like I'm not going to engage in shit talking. This is a martial art. This is an art form. I don't.
Yeah, I like how Chandler goes about it.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, and
I want to hear the shit talking.
Well, don't get me wrong. I like that as well. I like that as well, just because that's like
if there's a personal feud, that's when it's really funny.
Yeah, because otherwise it could seem forced. And like with Conor McGregor, it was like it was funny more than anything.
Because he got on your nerves, and you knew that people were actually genuinely like, "Yo, dude,
pissed
you're
off,
just corny as fuck."
Yeah, you're a bitch. So I mean, with him, but then we've seen mad other guys come through here, where you could tell it's just not even their personality. And when you watch the pre-fight conferences, where famously that's where Conor McGregor would go in and basically humiliate the people on the stage with him. You see people that were trying to do that wasn't even in their nature. That it was like it was more cringy because it's like, oh my god, bro, please stop and just fight.
Yeah.
Like you don't even know how to talk noise. Just shut up.
That's basically my issue.
Yeah,
I don't really know how to talk shit. Like back in the day, if you were getting off on me, I was like, can we just fight? Because at this point, like, I'm gonna get flamed.
You're like, stop. You're really funny.
It's like, damn, you are good.
Nah, I ain't gonna want to fight you.
No, for sure. Well, I mean, but in fighting, you always got the opportunity, and one of the great parts with Conor McGregor is more times than not, he'd back it up. He'd get in there, and then he'd fuck you up.
I wanted to take this chance to absolutely apologize to fucking no one.
Yeah, I think it was Michael Chandler. Oh, that was he had shouted him out for that.
Again.
And they were talking about that possibly being a fight. But either way, the Alex Izzy fight. Yeah.
To y'all, I'm not big on the UFC and stuff like that. I try to watch it, you know what I'm saying? I would have watched because I wanted to watch him. I like him.
I need to we need to get you on one of the live streams so we can just sit and like kick it. We had space for you last night. I should have invited you. That's my bad.
Why is it such a wow factor? If the man done beat you twice, why is it such a wow factor?
Because so first off, we as UFC fans, MMA fans, we're way more familiar with Izzy and watching Izzy fuck people up for the last 6-7 years. Like I said, he's only lost one UFC fight before this fight, and it was to somebody that was much bigger than him. He went up a weight class and challenged the champion for that belt to become and the guy didn't knock him out. He didn't fuck him up. He just laid on him most of the time and won a boring fight against him. So that's one reason. Izzy has way more of a reputation leading up to this fight with the American people and just the people, the UFC fans in general. So that's one reason. And Izzy, I think it was, at least for me, I'm an Izzy fan. And I think this is true. He's one of the most technical, advanced strikers I've ever seen. I've watched UFC for a long time now, like 15, 20 years I've been watching it in my life. He is one of the most advanced strikers I've ever seen. And you have to assume that he lost these fights whenever, 10 years ago, 12 years ago at this point, he got better. You feel what I'm saying?
It's been that long too.
It's been quite a while.
Well,
yeah, quite a while.
When you watch someone clean the division twice, it's like, damn, like, all right.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't realize it was been.
Yeah.
Honestly, I didn't even know he'd been around that damn long, but it's been that long.
His fighting career started in 2016 or 17.
Damn.
Oh.
Adesanya, and then Pierre started the year after him.
Really?
What career?
Fighting, kickboxing, mixed
martial arts. That ain't that long.
Yeah,
exactly. He's only fucking 20-something years old.
Yeah, ain't that long.
Yeah,
but
that's awesome.
if he was beating him up back then, I get it.
Yeah, I think actually I want to see
It's
what.
just the love of the game, bro. I mean, it's the fighting game. It's like same thing with the whole fucking Usman and Leon. Usman was winning that entire fight until Leon kicked him in the head in the last round.
I don't know who those people.
That was that
was
the
last
last
night.
That was
Nah,
the last championship fight.
last
Well,
really big
one of
fight.
them.
Last really big one.
Yeah.
Because he was on
watched
that
that.
same kind of tear that Adesanya was, where it's like
Adesanya-
Adesanya.
Is
if
that
he
the
would've-
fight where
Yeah.
at the end the guy had to back out because of weight or something,
No,
No.
and they switched it?
No, that was the fucking Nate Diaz and
Yeah.
what's his name?
Yeah, that was Nate
The
Diaz.
Russian. Hey, did you see? You see that's Cosmot. He was like,
what do you say?
he tagged Alex. Give me Alex. I run through him.
That'd be nuts.
That would be nuts.
They need to do that.
Wait, is it?
What?
What's his name in middleweight now?
Who?
Or no, he's welterweight.
Who are you talking about?
Fucking Cosmot, not Cosmot. Yeah, is it Cosmot?
Well, that's the.
I'm getting Islam and Cosmot mixed up in my head.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Hazma is the dude that just beat Kevin Holland.